There's a longer list, but the three primary ones are your food, your energy, and your banking system. Is that correct? Michael, is that right?
Yeah, I would say that's pretty much there. I don't know how Stephen feels about that, but it starts with the banking, because that frees up the money for the people to then provide the alternative energy and electricity, and that allows the people to then utilize that free electricity and energy to create abundance, starting with food and water and housing and security and healthcare and everything else. It follows. Once you got that, it becomes a chain reaction, a domino effect, if you want to call it that.
Excellent. Now, I want to go, just to finish off now, I want to go through just around...
Sorry, Scott?
Yes, Stephen, I was going to ask you, yes.
I'd just like to repeat a quotation from Henry Kissinger. He said some years ago, "Who controls the food supply controls the people. Who controls the energy controls the nations." And I think that's what it all revolves around, and we need to break away from that.
Sure, Thank you, Stephen. That's really important that you brought that up. And these statements by these nasty politicians of the past are just spectacular when you find them today, and you realize that they've really got the global community and the draconian enslavement of the people of the world to this cutting edge, where we now have to stand up and say we're no longer going to be bullied into this submission and control by these people.
Very, very well put. And agreed. It's really, I mean, anyone listening to this, I think, will start to really understand that there's more to it. And especially, I want you to finish off last, Michael. I want you to talk a little bit about your book, because ultimately that's where they can get a lot more detail on this. But just to finish off, we've talked about those three things. Hoping that people listening to this will realize that the Ubuntu Party is really made up of a group of people that are very different, but very well enlightened, very well researched, and have a wealth of practical, real experience. As opposed to this kind of system-driven mentality where everything has to fit into the existing blueprint that's been already laid out for us. And heaven forbid we change that blueprint, because if we do, we're labeled nutcases and conspiracy theorists, and that's got to end now. And I love it when we talk about that awkward moment when your friends suddenly start realizing that the conspiracy theorist that they've always dreaded is actually right. And that awkward moment is going to start being felt by a lot of people around South Africa and around the world when they realize basic, simple truths that they have grown up with are not quite as set in stone as we've always believed. So just to finish off, Stephen, is there anything you want to finalize, to want to add to this discussion for those listening? And this will be sent to 160,000 New Era members. Plus, of course, will be put all over social media, and we're hoping that people who are serious about Ubuntu and haven't yet been able to make up their mind will be able to get the full, well, not the full picture, but certainly go into more detail as to what Ubuntu is about.